Hi, I'm back. Well, the famine was raging and it was spreading far and wide. What am I sitting on? Plastic bag. Took the dog for a walk. Gotta have a plastic bag with you, you know. Oh, get rid of all my keys. Sorry about that. And the famine was even felt way over in Canaan, where Joseph's family lived, and Jacob and all his boys and everything, and now his boys even had families, but they were really feeling the pinch. So they had heard about there being a lot of food in Egypt in the storehouses, and so they decided to go, and Jacob said, no, you can't bring Benjamin. No, he's my youngest one. He's not going. And this is even like 20 years had passed. But he said, no, I need Benjamin here with me. And so the boys took off and they traveled, today it'd be like Route 40 for us, I suppose, but the main route that went into Egypt. And I'm thinking they probably were remembering back when they were so cruel to Joseph and sold him to the Ishmaelites that were going into Egypt. And on that wrong road, I just have a feeling they were every step thinking about the wrong they had done. And the scripture indicates that their hearts had softened since then, and they were regretting a lot of their mistakes. So in they went to Egypt, and they saw people coming the other way on the road and stopped them, and they said, well, we can see there's still a famine going on. The grass is all dried up and everything, but where are you getting all this food from? Egypt has food, I've heard, but it didn't look like it. And they said, oh man, they got quite a system there. They've got all these big storehouses that are filled with all kinds of grain, and they got fruit and vegetables and meat and everything. It's like going to a grocery store. And so they got encouraged and they went on into Egypt. Well, Joseph kind of overheard some of this conversation that they had with some other people just outside, and he recognized that they were his brothers, and but he didn't let on that he was Joseph to them at all, because it's 20 years later. And he said, fellas, I heard what you were talking about, but he didn't say it he always had an interpreter with him for the people coming in. And so through an interpreter, he said in their language, what do you guys want? And the interpreter's busy working there, translating. And they said, well, we came in for some food, and we have a old man and a boy back there in Canaan, and it's really rough on them. We're running out of food fast, and we need some food. And then Joseph said, well, come on in. So he brought him into his part of the palace. And interpreter's still with him, and they have no clue at all that it's Joseph they're talking to. And he said through the interpreter, I think you're spies. And they said, no, we're not spies at all. Honestly, we have an old man and a little boy back home, and not a little boy, but he's 20, but he's young, and they're getting hungry, and there's a terrible famine coming in the land, and it's just terrible. And Joseph said, no, I think you're all spies, and he just threw them all in prison, all of them. And he put them in there for 3 days to see if they would soften up a little bit, maybe. Now, they had that experience of being in prison like he was. And he brought them out again, and he said, okay, you're not spies. If you're not spies, I want you to go home and I want you to bring, you said you have a little brother at home. I want you to bring your little brother back with you when you come next time, and then maybe I'll give you the food. And they thought, oh no, you know, our dad, they're telling themselves, he's already lost Joseph. There's no way he wants to let Benjamin go. But finally, Simeon, he just kept Simeon in jail and said, okay, the rest of you go home. I'm going to keep Simeon here, and I want you to go home and get your little brother. Well, they started on their way home, and when they rested, they were almost home. When they rested, they found money in their saddlebags, and they thought, what is all this money? Somebody's going to think we stole it. And they were really upset about it. But they continued on a few more miles to home. Oh, they were upset. Not only that, now he wanted Benjamin too. And so there's so many trips they've made. And so they went back. I gotta read up on this. Okay, they're home right now, and with money that they're afraid that stole. So I gotta quit here. I gotta get this right.